Hi Aries, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. So today, Aries, for your meditative session, you guys got the Desire card. For some reason, I'm getting a lot with the Ram. The Ram, I keep seeing this like Ram here. I don't know if you guys have been like a little stubborn. I don't know why. I'm thinking of something like opposing, right? Like the, I think when they fight, right? Like they use their horns and they like go at each other, kind of like that. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this, which is weird because it's desire, right? It's like, is there a stubbornness to what you desire? Like, is there like a holding back, right? Or pushing it away, right? Instead of like the embracing of it, like, right? Because like this person here is naked, right? And I feel like they're sitting with their desires and they're like, you know when you're comfortable with what you desire, even though sometimes what you desire could be a little crazy, right? Like that's what I feel like needs to happen here. It's like the acceptance of what you want, right? And to know what you want, you have to know who you are, obviously. But like, it's like maybe you're getting to know yourself and some of your desires kind of scare you. And I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's like scary wants, scary needs, scary like desires. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's what you really want, right? Like that's what you desire. And I feel like there has to be a commitment to that part of you as well, right? Like not hiding that part of you, but like embracing it, right? And saying like, oh, like I have, I'm into this crazy shit, or I like that, and I like this, and it's kind of like, that's who I am, right? That's a part of you. And there's no point in hiding it. It's just about embracing it. So yeah, Aries, that's what I'm getting for your meditative session. Let's pull some cards and see what we got. So Aries, what I'm really getting with this reading is there's something that you want, right? There's like parts of you that want things that I feel like you don't want people to know, right? Like there's shit that you want that you don't tell anybody. And we all have that, right? Like we all have those things that are so, when someone can say like, can anyone ever truly really know another person? This is like what they mean, right? Because it's like there's so much even from your own self that you can like hide from yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can literally like repress a lot, right? Or hide a lot, or you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to get to know even yourself. So it's like, can a person really truly get to ever know another person? I want to say, I don't know, like it's a tough question, but this is about you, right? Like I feel like it's two things. It's like accepting it yourself, right? This is like maybe accepting it yourself. You're beginning to accept it yourself, and in accepting it yourself, it involves someone else, right? Because like it's like you don't want to live a life where you can't really be yourself, right? So it's like, if I tell somebody this about myself, are they gonna like want to still be with me? Are they gonna like accept me? Are they gonna like it's like being very clear, right? Like transparent to another person. Like they're gonna see everything. You know what I mean? It's like you're exposing yourself in a sort of way, and they're gonna have to like either, like, you know what I mean? It's like, are they gonna like it or not? And that's kind of what I feel with this. Like with this Four of Cups, it's like this is like the introspection, right? The taking a look at like all those aspects. And for a really long time, I feel like you didn't want to know about it, right? I see this as like you just trying not to acknowledge that other side of you, right? Like that there's a light in the dark, right? And there's like a part of you that you just didn't want to acknowledge for a really long time. Like desires, I just feel like this has a lot to do with desires, like things that you want that you just don't want someone else to maybe know, or you feel like if they knew that about you, they wouldn't really want to accept you. And I feel like it's really hard because again, this can go so many different ways for everybody, right? Like, I feel like it's a deep thing though. Like it's a part of who you are, right? And you can't like repress it anymore. But it's hard for you to communicate or be emotional. Like, you know what I mean? Like communicate what you want to this other person. It's like you feel like if you told them this part of yourself, right? Maybe it has to do with love. Like also like, like I feel like for some of you, it's something that you want that like you don't want to tell another person. And for some of you, it could be like the fact that you actually like feel very much like in love with another person. Do you know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of things that you desire that you hide. It could be like, oh, I really wanted to get, like I'm like in love with this person, but I don't want to tell them yet. Like it could be like so many different things for everybody. But with the King of Cups, I feel like it's tied to your emotions, right? Like whatever you have to say, it's like a part of you, right? It's a part of you. It's like, it's an aspect of yourself that you can't, it's a part of you that you have to kind of remain loyal to, even though I know that you kind of want to ditch it. I feel like it would be easier for you to ditch it, right? It's like, it's kind of corny that I'm remembering this, but I'm thinking of like Vampire Diaries. What came up in my head was like, when Rick has like the dark passenger. I think it's him. I haven't seen the show in mad long, but that's kind of what I'm getting, like the dark passenger, right? Like that part of you that it's like your twin, right? The other side of you that, like it's there and it's like you fall asleep, you wake up, and then it's like there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a part of you, right? And I feel like if you're going to be true to yourself, then you're going to have to really like acknowledge it and really like embrace it and really like accept it, right? And I feel like they're helping you with that right now, right? Because it's like with the Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords. Do you see how like both of these are kind of similar, where we're integrating the dark and the light? We're accepting both parts of ourselves, right? And I mean, I'm like laughing because I feel like, who wants just one side? Like, I feel like that's so boring to me. Like, I want to know like this side of someone else. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think like most people freak out with like this side, and like they only show that side, but it's like this side I feel like is the interesting part for me, honestly. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. Like, I feel like this side is the side that I feel like it's worth getting to know, right? Like, it's worth seeing, it's worth showing. And I feel like it's gonna have you're gonna have to make changes, right? Because it's like not everybody might like this part, right? For a really long time, I feel like you didn't even accept that part of yourself, right? And thinking of like Lilith, right? Like that, it's like we have Eve and Lilith, right? I don't know why I'm thinking of Eve and Lilith right now. But yeah, I think there's like an acceptance that you're gonna do. And once you're able to do this, it starts everything new for you, right? Like the wheel turns. And with the Two of Pentacles, it's like that decision that you have to make. I think you're learning kind of two things. It's like, we have so many cards, holy shit. We have so many cards about like this or that, light and dark, right? We have the Six of Swords, and you can see the dark and the light. We have the Journey, and you can see the dark and the light. We have like the Two of Pentacles, where you see she's trying to like balance something out, right? So there's something here about like this duality, but it's all you, right? At the end of the day. And if you are good, right? Because we're like all made, like we're all made good. Then like, I feel like the reference of good and bad doesn't like work, right? Because if we're all good, then this part of us is good too. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's an acceptance of that. Maybe learning how to balance that. Maybe like telling someone else about that part of us, telling them what we want, right? And with that comes a tremendous like turn of the wheel. Like the wheel literally is clarifying this, and it's based on what you do right now. So if you decide to like go forward, right? And it's like, it's starting new, right? No matter what, you're starting new, you're starting something new. Like, you've discovered this part of yourself now, you can't like go back, right? You're acknowledging it. And it's like, now what you have to do is like start. And you can choose to start in like an honest way, or you can choose to start in a dishonest way. And I feel like if the person that you're with doesn't like that part of you, like you already know my answer. If there's someone around you who talks about that part, like, you know, you tell maybe a friend about like things that you like or things that you want to do or things that you want to experience, and they don't really accept you, then that's, again, like, there's a lot of tests in the way, right, to kind of stop you from achieving this balance. Like, don't think it's like, oh yeah, I accept it and that's it. No, like, you're gonna get questioned. You're gonna get same thing if it's a love, somebody that you want to like express feelings to, you want to communicate with. There's always gonna be like tests in the way, like, and you can go either way and be like, oh, that's a sign that I shouldn't do this, or you can say, oh, that's like a test and I have to like pass it, right? It's like kind of showing my like devotion to this task at hand, and the task at hand is starting again, but starting again with the idea that like you're going to embrace both sides of you, and all that you're discovering about yourself, like you're going to try to start new with it, right? It's like, to whoever you're with, you're like, yeah, that's something I want to do, and like I hope we can like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is things that like I can't even say on YouTube. Do you know what I'm saying? There's just things here that you want and you desire, and you should keep wanting them and keep desiring that. It's just an acceptance that you need to make, especially like also if this is like about a love, right? Like you wanting to like you really wanting to embrace a person, right? I think that maybe a lot there will be tests, right? Like, oh, I don't like that person. Like your best friend's like, oh, I don't really know about that person. Like, you know, it makes you question yourself when your best friend's like not really, you know, they're like, oh, are you sure about that person? It's your best friend. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm not sure, you know, and then you're gonna go back. And again, it's like you can see it as a sign that it's not right, or you can see it as a test that you need to pass, right? To show you're like, are you really devoted to that person? Like there's like two ways to look at everything. Again, there's this duality. There's just like black and white. There's this dark and light. I don't want to say bad and good. I would say good and good, right? It depends how you look at it. And what's funny is like, I feel like your 10 of Cups is tied to this, and your 9 of Cups. Look how much cups we have here. It's what I'm saying. It's something that like is really a part of you. Right? And even though like you might see it as this part of you, it's still a cup, right? And what is a cup? A cup is emotional fulfillment. It's your feelings, basically, right? That's what I'm saying. It's so tied to you. Feelings is like an innate thing. It's like your intuition. It's like your gut, right? It's like you can't turn it off, basically. Like you can try to ignore it, but it never goes away. And I feel like this is all based on what you want, right? Like if you want to achieve the 10 of Cups, right? We think of the 10 of Cups and we think of like a family, right? And like all the things that we desired, like, you know, that home, that happy family, that happy life. But like, I feel like for whoever this is different. Like the desires is more, right? And I think it will be a real injustice to you if you don't embrace that side of you. Because to become the Empress, there comes like the embracing of everything that is you, basically, and accepting that everything that you want is every part about you is good. Even those things that like I think people would not want to say out loud, that's also good because that's also coming from you. So once you're able to like embrace that and understand it in that type of way, then that leads to like the right person. That leads to the right, like the life that you actually really want to live, right? And that's what this part is about. Like you're not going to get to the 10 of Cups right now. You're at the point where you're sowing the seeds for that. And it's like the only way to sow those seeds is if they're authentic to who you are. So you can like sow, it's like you really want a rose garden, but you start planting like daisies, right? And then like when all the daisies come out, everyone loves the daisies, but you really wanted a rose garden. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can plant anything you want, but it has to like, but you should try to make it as authentic to what you want as you can, right? And that's kind of what this 10 of Cups is telling me. It's like you can have this, but you have to embrace all of this. If it's another person, it's the same thing, right? And I think there's gonna be like not a fight, but like again, like roadblocks in the way to show like, are you really invested in this, right? And you can see it again as like a test, or you can see it again as like go back. And I feel like most people might go back, but I'm expecting at least some of you to keep going. So yeah, Aries, let's put some advice for you guys. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys, with time to heal, it's funny because it's like, it's a 1, right? A 10 is the end, but then you can see it as a 1, 0, which be like the beginning. And I feel like that's what this is. It's the beginning. And there's parts of you that, you know, when you really want something and then like you're told that like that's not really a good thing to want, don't want something like that, or that, like, you know what I mean, like society's like, oh, that's kind of like crazy, don't like get into that, and then you hide that part of yourself for a really long time. It's like that's the part of you that you should heal, you know what I mean, or you should give extra love to. That's what I'm saying. It's like this part of you is like so interesting. I would literally like go and like embrace it, hug it, love it, right? Same thing if this is a person, right? Like if there's a person that you really want to be with, and like I think a lot of people might question you for it, it's kind of like, I don't know, that makes me want like them more, because it's kind of like why like, you know, there's toxic relationships and like that's not what the fuck I'm talking about. So no, it's more about like your mom knows something about them, but it's like that part of them might make them really interesting, you know what I'm saying? That's what you love about that person. But you know, somebody in your family is like, no, that person sucks, or oh, that person's that. And I feel like that's the person, that's what you need to go heal, right? That relationship with that person, or that part of yourself that you hide, that's what you need to go heal. And with Trust the Great Mystery, I feel like maybe for a long time there's always been people in the way telling you like, oh, that's dumb, or that's a bad idea, or that person's not good. And you're like, why would they be sending me all of those like interferences and roadblocks? That's why I keep getting roadblocks one after another. And it's like, why would they send me all of those if like that just made me think that they're not for me? And it's like, no, maybe it's just like to see how devoted you were to it, and you just weren't ready at that time. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to trust in like the way like things happen and the way that you develop right as you go along. And I really like that you guys got Green Tarot, the Buddha of enlightened action. It's an enlightened action, right? Like there's always going to be like those people, right, that say like the dumbest things, or like that don't understand. And it's like, if you're at a capacity that's greater than most people, then yeah, you might suffer more, because you know what I mean, you're looking at everything from every angle. And there's a lot of people that don't see like a lot of things because they're like down here. So like it gets frustrating to you because you try to explain it to somebody, or you try for them to understand, they don't. And that's kind of your burden, right? Because like a lot of people won't understand. And that's what I think that's why you've been like tested so much, right? Because like they wanted to make sure like the person getting there was like the right person. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like if you were going to get to that girl, I don't know, like they'll put 20 people to start, but only one person goes at the end and gets her. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the whole point. And they're waiting for your soul to inform you of every step. I do what my heart compels me to do, basically. So yeah, Aries, I really love this reading. I love you guys. I hope this resonates, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.